SG Recruitment is a subsidiary of the Sumner Group. So we have our sister company and we are under it. We are under one group, which is called Sumner Group Help. Our company is doing other businesses. Okay, so we offer training for nurses, language training, and I'm talking about OET or Occupational English Test and IELTS. Okay, and also we are into PPE business, and of course recruitment of nurses to UK and now to USA. And our company um, has its location in 3 countries. For SG Recruitment, we have our office in the Philippines, which is in Laguna, and also in United Arab Emirates. We are based in Jumeirah Lakes Towers in JVC 5, room 904, 905. And we also have our office in London. Our company is registered in International Stock Exchange. So that's about it, okay, about HG Recruitment or about our company. And our website is indicated in the slide. You can double check it. And of course, our email address. Like if you want to submit your application, you can use the info email address. You can use Sheila's email address. Sheila is one of our recruiters. And you can also send it to me via WhatsApp or uh, using my own email address, which I usually include in every job postings that I'm making, and posting in different groups for nurses, and even in YouTube, in Facebook, and in LinkedIn, Instagram, and Twitter. I'm also using that now. All right. So SG Recruitment, I already had mentioned our location, and we are really very active in recruiting and training, recruiting, processing the papers, and deploying nurses to United Kingdom. And soon we will start with our US with US application or US recruitment. So these are the services that we are providing so far. So as I had previously mentioned, we offer the training for OET, CVT if you are planning to go to UK and become a UKRN. CVT stands for computer-based test. So it's a nursing exam that has 2 parts. The first part would be the drag calculation or the numeracy part, and it will be 15 items. The other part would be part B, which is all about the theory. Okay, so we usually give the reviewer for those who will enroll for our OET or IELTS training. Okay, just want to let you know. And of course, OSCE, this is also for nurses who are deployed to UK. So they are taking the OSCE exam there, and it's fully sponsored by our employer. And we have 100% pass rate, by the way, for both OSCE and our CVT. Okay. For OET, it's a little bit challenging, or even IELTS. And that is the reason why we are offering the exam. I'm sorry, the training for it. Okay. For a very reasonable price. And yeah, you can ask question if you're raising your hand. Anyways, it's just what, 11 participants, including myself and Sheila. Yeah, you can unmute yourself and ask me question as I adjust the what do you call this, the ring light that I have here. Okay, I think that's fine. Too bright for me. It's hurting my eyes. Sorry, I can't focus. Okay, I would settle with that. What's wrong with this? Okay, so to continue. All right. So other than training, we also provide, of course, we arrange the interviews with our client. This will happen if you pass your OET, if you are planning to go to US, sorry, to UK. But if it's US, then you need to pass your NCLEX. But I have good news for all attendees now. Actually, the client, we got a confirmation from the client that if they find the paper or the applicant qualified, they will offer you a pre-NCLEX training and they will arrange the interview also. And that is the reason why post I opened the this opportunity even to non-NCLEX passers. But it doesn't mean that you will not complete the process. You know that there is a registration body, just like in the UK we have NMC, they have the CGFNS. So no one goes to UK and practices a nurse without getting the NCLEX result, pass result. Okay, so we still have to comply with or meet the requirements that is set by the hospital and the US immigration. Okay, next, of course, a visa application. We are currently doing it. Like, for example, if you, of course, the applicant, it's automatic that we're going to process the visa for them. We have our deployment team who are based here in UAE, and we are forwarding all the successful applicants. Okay, once they have received the offer and they have signed it, once the papers had been completed, then the visa will be processed. Not only for them, because for UK, the nurses have the option to bring the family. So even the visas of the family is being processed by SG recruitment, and we do have the option as well to deploy them at the same time that the nurses will be deployed. So all of them together. Next, travel arrangement. Of course, we are booking the ticket for every nurse applicants that we have for UK. Accommodation and bank accounts. Accommodation is pre-arranged, and there is a relocation package for our UK applicants. Okay, so to continue, um, these are the names of the company under SG Recruitment. In the Philippines, we are still known as GHR, Healthcare Recruitment. And here in the UK, we are registered under the name of Sumner Group Health Limited. And we used to have Green Sky Innovations. In fact, my visa is under Green Sky Innovations. And also, we have the Sumner Group Training and Assessment Institute, or SGTI. If you are an enrollee for OET or IELTS, you are under SGTI or SGT. And the Sumner Documentation Services, which is registered in the in the Philippines. So for every nurse applicants to UK, they are starting from training to of course recruitment, and then processing of their papers or the documentation part. We do it all from here. So it's A to Z. Okay, A to Z. If it's UK recruitment, we do it from start to finish. Okay. Now, let's go to the heart of our discussion, USA nurse application process. By the way, if you have questions, feel free to just raise your hand or just send a message in the chat box or in the chat room, so I would be able to see it. Let me check, because I'm seeing 4 messages. Okay, so it's just a greeting. Okay, yeah. Thank you, Sheila. Um, all right. So are you still able to see the slides? You can still see the presentation in front of you. Can anyone answer? Sheila, are you still able to see it? The presentation, is it still there?
Yes, 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 yes.
Okay, thank you so much. So for this topic, I have some Q&A, question and answer, okay, for us. It's our first time doing it, but when I am being approached by the nurses, this is the frequent question that I usually get. Okay, so the first question is, do I secure my employment through a direct hire facility or through a staffing agency? So what is the answer here? By the way, some of the presentation that you are going to see for tonight, I don't own them, okay? I got it from Google, so I did my research. So this is somehow a public property which I am sharing to you. Okay, so do I secure my employment through a direct hire facility or through a staffing agency? To answer that question, we have to understand the difference between direct hire and staffing agency hire. Okay, so you should know that when once you apply for a nursing job or once you apply for a nursing position to US, you have two options, okay? And you will always encounter this because probably you will be um someone will contact you like a recruiter, and they will offer you a position in the US, especially once you already got your pass score for NCLEX, okay? And once they see your profile, then they will contact you immediately. So the for direct hire, we have to understand that I will give example. By the way, there's an illustration on the slide. Direct hire is a job offer and a contract from a direct healthcare facility. For example, nurse A will be applying to hospital A. Okay, so it will be a direct hire. Okay, so the nurse will send the application and he will sign the contract, and the visa will be issued by hospital A. Okay, so we'll have the illustration later. Staffing agency would be a job offer um, from a nurse placement agency like us, okay, like SG recruitment, okay, that contracts your services to a healthcare facility. Now let me understand, okay, we are not really a direct staffing agency because we have our partner and we are not disclosing it as of the moment because we want I mean it will be disclosed only once the nurse is already an NCLEX passer or upon interview. Okay, so you will meet the actual employer. Okay, so for staffing agency, there will be someone who will process the application of the nurse. And that agency is the one who's going to issue the visa and, of course, the contract. Your contract will be under the agency, not from the employer themselves, okay, or not from the hospital. Okay, some more. A direct hire means recruitment is made directly by a company or through an employment agency to fill a long-term need. For example, Hospital A, they have their own recruitment company, and they will contact the nurse and offer them the employment. So that is direct hire. You are there dealing directly with with the recruitment team of the hospital who is offering you the job. Okay, or it could be that that hospital employed an employment agency to fill the need, the long-term need of the hospital. That can also be considered a direct hire, okay? So long as your contract and your visa will be issued by your employer, not the employment agency who contacted you to process your paper. Okay, so to understand the difference, let's see the illustration here. U.S. direct hire nurses. Okay, so nurse will approach a staffing agency, and that staffing agency is associated to a hospital or a healthcare facility. But once successful with the application, interview, qualification, documents, all is approved by the facility or by the hospital, they will give you the contract and it will be coming directly from them, from the facility or from the hospital. They will process your visa or your green card, whatever type of visa will be issued. But usually, if it's direct hire, they are issuing H1B Visa, okay, which is a work permit, which is similar to work permit, or we may call it work permit, okay, which is renewable after 6 years, okay. So for this one, it will be issued to you directly by the facility or by the hospital, though there is a staffing agency who had processed your application. Okay, you only need to remember who issued the contract, or which organization you will I mean who issued the contract. Is it the staffing agency, or is it the employer themselves, or the hospital, or the healthcare facility? Okay, same thing with the green card or the visa. Who will process it, and who will give it? Okay, is it the staffing agency, or is it the employer, or the hospital, or the healthcare facility? Okay, some more. So direct hires are recruited by a professional employer. Okay, like what I said, in every organization they have this HR and recruitment team. So they may, if you are directly hired, that particular department of the hospital or the facility may contact you directly to process your employment. Okay, or it could be a staffing agency, a professional employer organization, like for example SG Recruitment. So once the job is accepted, the candidates become permanent employees of the hospital or facility. Okay, not on the staffing agency. Okay, you are an employee of the hospital or of the facility because the visa came from them. Okay, and as far as the salary and benefits is concerned, it will be whatever is the offer. Okay, they are giving to regular staff. Okay, so that will be the offer that you will receive. Okay, so employment contracts is signed into by hired candidate will be under the hospitals or healthcare facilities name, and not under the staffing agencies. I think we were able to tackle that earlier. So for direct hire, the hospital or healthcare facility will act as a green card sponsor. Again, we have discussed that earlier. Okay, so I hope you remember. Okay, this is about being hired directly or direct hire. Okay, option. Okay, next, let's discuss about staffing agency for nurses. Okay, so the process of being employed by staffing agency is slightly different from being hired directly by the facility or by the hospital. So staffing agency means that the candidate will be securing a job offer at one of the partner agency of the facility or of the hospital or healthcare organization. So basically, like in our case, what we will do if you are already an NCLEX passer, we will forward you, okay, to your application to our partner, and they will contact the hospital or the facility, okay, who needs nurses having this particular qualification. Like, we are hiring medical surgical, telemetry, HDU nurses. So they will forward your application to the facility or to the hospital who requires that particular area of a specialty, and they will become your employer. Okay. I mean, you will be working for them, but your employer would be the agency who forwarded the application to the hospital, because the agency or the staffing agency is the one who's going to issue the visa for you. Okay, so you will be under their contract. Next, this is the illustration. I hope we can understand this better. US staffing agency hire. So the nurse will be contacting the agency, and once successful with the interview, with the documents, once you have completed that, once your visa had been approved, then your contract will be under the facility. Okay, and the green card, I mean, the contract will be under the staffing agency, and as well as the green card. But then you will be working for the hospital, who is a partner client of the staffing agency, or who is supplying, who is getting the nurse, okay, from the staffing agency. Okay, so that's the main difference. If you have questions, just let me know, okay? If it's still unclear to you, okay? So some more explanation. So staffing agency nurses are candidates who accepted the job, um, who accept the job and have their services contracted by the staffing agency to the hospital where they will work for. Okay, so hence they will be called contract hires, not direct hire. They are called either staffing agency hire or contract hires. Okay. So about the duration of the contract, if you are under the staffing agency, your contract would usually last from 2 to 3 years. If you are a direct hire, it could be 2 to 4 years. Okay. So after which you have the freedom, if you are under the staffing agency, once your contract is done, once you had completed it, you have the freedom to either apply or remain on the same hospital or facility you are working for and be directly hired by the hospital or the healthcare facility once you had completed your contract. So to understand this better, this is the comparison. Okay. So for recruitment, if it's direct hired, it could be the hospital, the healthcare facility, or the staffing agency partners, like the illustration that I have shown, or the professional employer organization or any recruitment agency. So long as the hospital or the facility is the one who's going to process your visa or issue your contract and visa, then that is considered direct hire. Okay, staffing agency, that would be the partner of the facility or hospital, and the one who will issue your contract and your visa. So the employment contract and green card is sponsor. It will be under the hospital or the healthcare facility if it's direct hire. If it's a staffing agency, then it would be the U.S. staffing agency partner. Like in our case, it will be, if we process you, it will be our partner agency. The contract will be coming and the visa will be coming from our partner agency. The duration, it varies. If it's direct hire, it varies per contract. But typically, it's going to be a long-term contract. Like what I said, it could be 2 to 4 years or longer. And if it's staffing agency, it varies per contract, but typically it's short term, 2 years average, okay, up to 3 years. Okay, salary and benefits. It's going to be the same as salary for regular staff in the hospital or facility. For staffing agency, there will be slight changes. Okay, it could be better, it could be lower as well. It depends, but then you do have the option to compare once you receive the offer, because when we had the meeting with our partner client, they offer the same salary range as nurses being directly hired. So you wouldn't have to worry about that. Options at contract end. Once the contract is done, it can be renewed if you are hired directly by the facility and if you agreed to it. Okay, if you are under the staffing agency, you do have an option to apply for a permanent role on the same hospital or facility, or you can find a new employer. Okay. For the immigration application, it's covered by the hospital or the healthcare facility or their staffing agency partner. But then if it's a staffing agency, covered by the U.S. staffing agency partner. So I think I was able to explain that earlier, and I'm hoping that you understand the difference now. And if you have questions or if you want, if you want to still clarify, okay, the difference between these two, let me know. Okay, so for now, let us understand about the two types of visa, okay, that can be issued to you as a nurse applicant. So we have the HB1 visa. Okay, so HB1 visa is a non-immigrant visa that allows US companies to temporarily employ foreign workers in specialty occupation. Why I am saying this? because now you can decide if you would like to be if you would like to apply or be processed as direct hired by the hospital or facility, or if you choose to be processed by staffing agency. Because for H1B visa, this is being issued by the um, by the hospital or facility themselves. Okay, so it means that it is a work visa. It's not an immigrant or a green card visa. So just to understand the H1B visa, in simple term, it is a work visa and a non-immigrant visa. Okay, so the duration of your visa is 6 years. And the initial period of stay for those in H1B status is 3 years, with extensions available after 3 years thereafter. Now, if you will ask me how long you can renew, so long as you have the right to stay, meaning you are still working for the same organization, they can keep on renewing that until you get your immigrant visa approval. Okay. Now, if your question is about bringing the family, yes, you can bring the family with you. The type of visa that they will process, even at the time of deployment, by the way, you're eligible for this, and they call it H4 visa. Okay. Now, the visa validity expiration and renewal. So after the lapse of 3 years of H1B holder, you can have an extension for another 3 years. Upon completion of 6 years, an H1B holder can offer renewal of his HIV status, meaning so long as you have the right to remain in the US and under that H1B visa, there's no limit. Okay, so long as you remain eligible, you may extend your H1B status unlimited times until you get your green card approval. Okay. Now let's go to EV3 visa. Okay. So on EV3 visa, this is what a staffing agency is providing to nurses who are applying or who chose to be processed by their agency. So it's a preference category for U.S. employment based on permanent residency. This is equivalent to immigrant visa or green card. Okay, so this is intended for skilled workers, professionals, and other workers. So for you to qualify for this type of visa, a foreign worker must have a valid and permanent job offer from a U.S. employer, and that they have the qualifications to meet the job description in terms of the level of education and job experience. So now I believe so that you can choose, upon knowing the type of visa, you can choose which process or which way to go if you want to be directly hired or if you want to be processed by a staffing agency. Now, let me continue. EV3 visa, of course, there's a pathway to citizenship, okay, or naturalization. So this is good because the validity is 10 years. Okay. So this is not like renewing a non-immigrant visa like H1B. Wherein after 3 years you have to renew and again renew, okay, until you become eligible for a green card visa. I mean, for immigrant visa or a green card. Okay, this one, the benefit is that you wouldn't have to worry being deported to US because the validity is 10 years, and there is an option for you to apply for citizenship, of course. So so the benefits that come from making the transfer from EB3 visa to citizenship is done through a process called naturalization. And I've noted down some benefits, okay, by possessing the EB3 visa. So you will be able to work as a federal government employee. You can sponsor your family and bring them at the time of deployment. We can process, the visa of the family and deploy you all together at the same time. Okay, if you have this type of visa, you can vote. Okay, if you want to, and you no longer have to renew your immigration status because you are already an immigrant upon deployment. You are. an immigrant already of US. And you cannot be deported from USA. Okay. Now, I hope if you have questions, please don't be so silent. You can ask question. You just need to raise your hand. Let me check. Wait. Okay, so I got this question from Penny. Yes, hello, Penny. You are from Kenya, and you want to know if do you recruit from who yeah, I mean, there's nothing like that. It's only applicable to US, and we're doing the orientation for US application. Okay, it's not for UK. So there's no such thing as umbrella country in USA. All is welcome to apply, all nationalities, so you can tell your friends about it. Okay, but there are some restrictions from the client, but I won't disclose it here. But yes, I can assure that everyone is welcome to apply. Okay, next, step by step application. So with SG recruitment, we already started sourcing candidates, especially the ones who already have the USRN status or who are already NCLEX passers. Okay, so the first step in the recruitment process is, of course, to source and screen the candidates. Qualifications. Okay, so the qualification that you have to meet or you must possess is: number one, you must be an NCLEX passer currently working in bedside. Let me explain this, because in US, the requirement of the hospital is for a nurse to have, at the time of deployment, you should have met the qualification requirement in terms of your experience, which should be 2 years. Now, since the processing of the EV3 visa would take more or less 1 year, having at the time of application at least 1 year experience in the bedside would be accepted. Okay, so you need to work on your NCLEX, because once NCLEX is done, we can forward your application or submit it to the employer for interview. Upon passing, then we can start the visa application or processing. Okay. Next, you need to have a valid home country license and international nursing license, if any. Now, valid home country license means the license that was issued from your home country. Like if you are a Filipino, you must have um, PRC PRC ID, okay, or you must be a board passer for a nursing exam, and you need to obtain the registration from PRC. Okay. And I think same goes, okay, if you are in Africa, if you are in India or other parts of the world. I believe, so that we understand what we mean when we say home country license. Okay, so that is the basic requirement. Now, in if you are working in other countries, like for example, if you are in UAE, if you are in Saudi, or elsewhere, for you to practice, you need to meet the qualification requirement of the country which you will be working for. Like here in UAE, they have this HAAD license, they have the DHA license, MOH, DHEC. So that license should be active. Why? Because here you cannot practice. Remember the requirement, the experience requirement. It should be at least 1 year, and you cannot practice without having a license, especially in hospital. So if you are working outside of your country, you need to secure a license from the current country which you are working for. Okay. The next step would be, once we source the qualified applicant and have screened their CV, we will put the application forward for employers interview. In our process, we are doing the preparation. We are prepping the candidate for the interview. So we have hired a nurse consultant, and he is the one who's going to talk to you and give you tips on how to pass the interview, and give you, because we understand it's going to be the first time. So he's going to tell you, okay, or share the best practices in order for you to ace the interview. Okay. And I may do some research and also upload in YouTube some questions or possible questions for nurses who are applying to US. So just subscribe and follow me on YouTube so you can be able to have that information to help you pass or ace your interview. Now, next, once you are successful with your interview, you will we will ask you to submit the documents. Okay, so the required documents from nurses for the one or for the I-140 application, we have the definition of the form I-14-140. Okay, so what are the requirements you have to submit in order for you to start your application? Okay, so your CV, it must be submitted. Of course, at the time of interview, we need to have that, and that would be the first requirement we will get from you. So make sure that you have watched the presentation on how to write the CV. I also have it in YouTube, and which I'm more than willing to share. And the admin team also will be sending you a template so you can be able to um, write your CV properly. There are examples there. There is a guide. I think for some of you, you already have gotten that. So you just need to follow that. So it would look very presentable and it would be shortlisted. Okay. So what else? Your nursing board certificate or ID. For Filipinos, it will be PRC license or certificate. You have to submit any proof that you have taken and passed your board exam. Next, your NCLEX pass result. Again, if you are an NCLEX passer or if you know someone who is awaiting ATT for NCLEX or already booked the NCLEX and could show me the test booking, please share my number right away. Or you can even share Sheila's number. Okay, if you are in touch with Sheila, you can give it to her because even if you have that person or that candidate has not taken the NCLEX yet, that should be fine. We can negotiate with our client and we can we can be able to arrange the interview for him or her. Okay. Next, passport. It should be at least valid for a year. PSA birth certificate or just birth certificate for some. Marriage certificate, which should be authenticated. I think that's the what's the PSA is for, because in the Philippines we have this um, department issuing this civil documents. That's the reason why we indicated PSA. Of course, your college diploma and your transcript of records. For your dependents, if you plan to bring them, you need to submit the supporting documents, which is the birth certificate and the passport, and a marriage certificate if you are married. Okay. So, by the way, you can do a screenshot of this presentation so you would know which documents you have to prepare. So next, the filing of I-140 petition to USCIS. Okay, USCIS just means United United States Citizenship and Immigration Services. Okay, but what's it? Okay, so that's what the name stands for. Let me see. I noted down some explanation for the USIS. Just give me a few minutes to get it for you. USIS is, wait, I couldn't find it. Okay, anyways, these are the to continue. Okay, these are the several case status. Okay, so once we file the I-140 petition to United States Citizenship and Immigration Services, these are the several status we may encounter. First one is approve. So for this, it just means that the candidate will receive a letter from NBC. Okay, so NBC is let me check. We have it here. NVC is National Visa Center. Okay. And then we have another status, which is RFE, or Request for Evidence. It means that the United States Citizenship and Immigration Services will be needing some documents that are missing or questionable. Okay. So you just need to provide that. So the status could be changed to approved. We also have NOID, NOID. It means Notice of Intent to Deny. So once you receive or see this status, it means that your petition is possibly denied for whatever reasons. Next, denied means petition is denied and employer needs to refile the petition. So you're not losing hope even if the petition is denied already. So we can refile your application. I don't know how to close this one on the left side so you can have the full view of the presentation. Anyways, it doesn't matter because you're able to see it anyway. So to continue filing I-140 petition to USCIS. Okay, so to explain what is this form is, okay, it just mean it is an immigrant petition for alien worker like us because we are not US nationals. So this is used to petition for US citizenship and immigration services. Okay. So if you are a foreigner, you have to file this petition to USCIS to classify an alien beneficiary as eligible for an immigrant visa based on employment. Okay. So that is the purpose of filing the I-140 petition. Some more, while your for or petition for I-140 is being processed, you have to prepare now for your IELTS exam. So with SG Recruitment, we provide IELTS training, and it's going to be one-to-one with the trainer. We only offer it for 700 dirhams, just for you to know if you're interested. And for this one, the duration would be 3 months. Okay, so as soon as you file your petition and as you wait for the approval or for the result, you have to start reviewing for your IELTS exam. And once you pass your IELTS, when I check for the score, you should target at least 7, even though some states would accept 6.5 overall band score. But then we have to aim to make it at least 7. Okay. So once you pass your IELTS, you have to start the visa screening process. So what is visa screening? Visa screening is credential assessment. Okay, and this is being processed by CGFNS. Maybe you have already encountered these terms. So they have this thing called credential assessment. CGFNS is an international CGFNS International is an immigration neutral nonprofit organization that helps foreign educated healthcare professionals live and work in their country of choice by assessing and validating their academic and professional credentials. So we'll be submitting the documents for visa screening, and which is also called credential assessment. Okay. So there is another form of credential assessment, and they call it CES. Okay, another credential evaluation requirement for some state license. I won't discuss CES now. But the processing time, just to let you know, it's going to be 3 to 4 months if you don't have the CES. We will explain CES later on because I was not able to include that here, and I was not able to get the information or the details that we need for CES. CES, okay. So visa screen, by the way, or credential assessment needs your IELTS result. So you should really prepare for it and you should pass it. Okay. So the next step would be the approval of petition. So once USCIS approves your petition, they will transfer your case to the Department State's National Visa Center or the NBC for the pre-processing. So the first step in this processing is the creation of your case in NBC or National Visa System, Visa Center. And once this is completed, NBC will send you a welcome letter by email or by physical mail. Okay. Next would be fee bill. Okay. So fee bill, let us first define it's a schedule of the minimum or customary fees charged by lawyers. In this case, the one who will handle the petition or processing of your visa are the immigrant lawyers. Okay, so we will receive a fee bill, and when the fee bill is ready, the employer will pay for it. Okay, on behalf of the applicant if they meet all of the requirements. Next, we'll go to Form DS-260. So Form DS-260 has been defined as the immigrant visa and alien registration application. So this is a required online form for foreign nationals applying for family-based green cards from abroad. So once your fee bill is paid, candidates must start their DS-260. This is visa application for the family, which you will bring with you to USA. Okay. So what are the requirements for the DS-260? Valid passport and the marriage certificate of the spouse, birth certificate of the children, NBI or police clearance for those who are currently working abroad. NBI, this is for Filipinos living in the Philippines. For your dependents, they need to provide valid passports, birth certificate, divorce and adoption papers, if applicable. Now, if your status is already awaiting DS/260 approval, um, this means that you are already await, because documentary qualified means it's already approved. Okay. So we are awaiting DS-260 approval. So once you have completed the DS-260 and submit it to the NBC, it will take 2 to 3 months for the case to be completed or documentarily qualified. So say, for example, you had submitted the requirements for DS-260. This is the processing of the visas of your family or dependents. A waiting period for that would be 2 to 3 months. Now, if it has been approved, it is considered case completed or documentarily qualified. Documentary qualified means the National Visa Center or NVC has already approved the applicant's document submissions on the Consular Electronic Application Center or CEAC portal or CEAC. Okay, so this is good news. So the documentarily qualified status is when the applicant's status is case completed, okay? And the applicant's PD or priority date is current. U.S. Embassy will send the um, packet 4 to the employer or immigration lawyer. Okay, so once again, we're done with DS-260, and it has been approved or your case has already been completed. You can bring the family. You are already documentarily qualified or on DQ status, and you will have your PD. Okay, the PD will be current and status. Next step would be for the U.S. Embassy to send you the packet 4 to your employer or to the immigration employer. Okay, so this packet 4 includes the following. Okay, so permission to take the medical to a U.S. Embassy accredited clinic or hospital. So that would be next to deployment or immigration to US. Okay. Next, there are some things to remember here. You have to proceed to the embassy for interview only if your medical is cleared, meaning you pass and you successfully pass the medical interview. Otherwise, if you did not pass, you are not yet cleared with your medical, you need to get a new appointment for the medical. But wait, you need, sorry, your medical result must be cleared first before it's okay. All right. So once your medical is cleared, you have to proceed to the embassy for the interview. If it's not cleared, you first need to redo the medical until it becomes clear, and only then you can request for a new schedule for your embassy interview. So the usual cost of failing the medical is um, the result of your sputum test. Okay, this is the common reason for not passing your medical exam. Okay. Now, what are the requirements needed for the interview in the embassy? So first, we need to have the appointment letter. So the appointment letter will be coming from the National Visa Center. Of course, your passport for each applicant. It should be valid for at least 6 months beyond the intended date of entry into the United States of America. Of course, your photographs, two identical color photos for each applicant, which must meet the general photographs requirements, because they will give you instructions anyway for the photograph. You just need to follow that. And the last would be the DS260 confirmation page, because once you are already a completed case or DQ status documentarily qualified, they will be sending you a confirmation page. Okay. So next is completing. Okay. So this is additional requirements. Okay, so supporting documents, original or certified copies of all civil documents. So you need to secure the original documents for the birth certificate, marriage certificate, all of the civil documents. And you have to submit it to the National Visa Center. And of course, the original copy of the contract you receive from your employer, the offer letter from the facility, the visa screen or the credential assessment, and your license, state certificate or board license, nursing board license. And Senomar, this is for Filipinos, certificate of non-marriage if you are single. Next, approved visa status. Approve if the visa or if approved visa, the applicant is scheduled for deployment, and the employer will shoulder the expenses for the visa and your airfare. So now you can throw a party if your visa had already been approved. Not only your visa, but your family's visa. If you plan to bring your spouse, if you have your own family, you can bring them, and you can move to USA all together at the same time. Okay. So I had made a summary, and to make it, simple, okay, for everyone. And again, the good news is that we are accommodating even non-NCLEX passers, and the client had promised to arrange the review for the NCLEX as well, so long as they find you qualified and you will commit, because there will be like a contract, because the NCLEX training would be after 6 months, and they need to make sure that you will not walk out from the agency, or you'll not withdraw your application. Okay, so our priority SG recruitment is started to process application to USA. Our priority are nurses who pass NCLEX or who are already USRNs. For some, they are saying they are having their agency already, but still we check. If you want to transfer to us, we check your status, and if it's still possible, we will tell you if you can still process your application. Okay, so this is for the non-NCLEX passers. Step one, you have to apply. Now, in applying to SG recruitment, there are several ways. But if you will apply through me, I'm usually available through WhatsApp. Okay, no joke, because I can easily, because we have groupings in WhatsApp. I just want to make you understand, because some of you would really ask for an email. I wouldn't hesitate to give you that. But if you want uh, my response immediately, and if you want me to forward it right away to the recruitment team, then you have to send it to me in WhatsApp. I won't mind you also sending it to me via email, so that I have a record of it and I can have your email address. So what I usually do is asking my candidates to send it to me via WhatsApp, then I will forward it to the admin who's handling um, the particular position. Okay. The particular position, let's say if it's for UK, or if it's for US, I will forward it directly. So you need to make sure you will send complete documents. Like, if you still have to start your NCLEX, at least send me your CV, your passport, your nursing license. This is important. If you can send your TOR or TOR, transcript of records and diploma, that would be better. If you are having a hard time sending it in WhatsApp, just send the CV in WhatsApp and then send me the supporting documents in email. Okay, or whichever is convenient for you. I won't mind. Okay. Now, once we had screened your CV and we find that you are the candidate that we are looking for, we will arrange your interview. And we are hoping you will accept the offer. Okay. So upon signing the offer, we will proceed with document collection, and we will endorse you for the NCLEX review. This will last for 6 months, and this is sponsored as of now by the employer. Okay, and then especially for the ones who are already on awaiting ATT for NCLEX, and the ones currently reviewing, you just need to tell us. And because we want you to really book your NCLEX. If you are reviewing for NCLEX, if you're serious about it, because you can just say, I'm currently reviewing. We don't want that. We need to have the proof that you are enrolled in a training program, so we can be able to talk to you and walk you through on how you could book your NCLEX, because we need to secure a date for your NCLEX exam. Because remember, we can only start the visa processing if you are already an NCLEX passer. And we have employer, this is continuous hiring. So there is an employer waiting for you. You are not wasting your time or effort or money, because there is a job waiting for you. Okay? So to continue, once you are done with your NCLEX review, of course, you have to take your NCLEX, book it, and take the exam, and we'll start with your green card processing. Because remember, you already had accepted an offer from us. And if you would remember the our discussion on processing the visa, once it is done, you had been approved. Then we will process your deployment to USA. Okay. So what is the process now for those who pass NCLEX or who are NCLEX passers, okay, or USRNs? So you will apply again, give me complete sets of documents, and for the interview, you know it, we are going to prep you for it, so you wouldn't have to be scared in facing the employer, because we will make sure that you are ready to answer the questions. And of course, we expect you to sign the offer. And we will start with the document collection, so we can proceed with the filing of your petition, and or we will start with your visa application. Next, we will issue the. I mean, we will process your green card, or your immigration. That would be the next step. And the last one, upon approval of your petition, we will of course issue you the ticket, process your deployment to USA with your family. Okay. So allow me to inform you about our current opportunity. Again, we already started hiring nurses for our USA client hospitals, and it's going to be all over USA. So it doesn't really matter which NCLEX you have or which state your NCLEX was. I mean, which state you pass for your NCLEX. Okay, it doesn't really matter because we have hospitals waiting for you in whichever states in the US. Okay, so the specialty area, these are our priority. If you're an NCLEX passer, don't hesitate to contact me or to contact Sheila or anybody. Our priority areas is medical, surgical, and telemetry. We also have intermediate care, high dependency, step down unit, and we have the rehabilitation, emergency department, and hemodialysis. Regardless of your specialty area, if you are done with NCLEX, send your application immediately, at least your CV. We'll forward it to our hospital client so we can be able to give you an interview date. Okay. And we'll start the process as soon as you pass. So the benefits would be we will issue e-visa, EV3 visa or immigrant visa. It will be premium processing. And as previously discussed, EV3 visa holders, they get automatic legal permanent residency or green card. And this includes their family and may eventually be able to naturalize or acquire citizenship as a U as US citizen. Okay, so bring your immediate family with you at the time of deployment, and we don't charge placement fees, and also we provide free visa and airfare. All right. Again, that's it for now. I'm just posting or showing you our contact details, so you have an option to send it directly to me, or you can send it via WhatsApp. I'm showing two numbers, okay, and also the email address of info at SG Recruitment. But if you are contacting Sheila, she has her email address. You can send it directly to her as well, and she will forward it to us. And again, I'd like to request everyone, whether you want to be processed to UK or to US, please subscribe to our channel because all job postings will be there. And it would be easier and faster for us to get the process on how to become a UKRN or USRN if you will subscribe to the channel. Our other opportunities, just let me mention to you, if you want to work in the UK, we are hiring mental health nurses, and this is open to all nationalities. So long as you have an experience for at least 6 months being a mental health nurse or psychiatric nurse, with or without OET, we are giving interviews and we are giving job offers. But then again, you have to start the process or complete the requirements set by the Nursing and Midwifery Council, else we cannot issue visa. Okay, and also we are hiring midwives. Midwives, you have, if you have a license, okay, or if you have friends interested in working in UK, UK is now accepting applicants, and it will be the same offer for nurses, the same process they have to go through as well in terms of registering with an MC. Okay, and you can cascade this information, especially the opportunity for um, USRN jobs. Please just share my email or share the email of the company, or share my WhatsApp number or my YouTube channel, or you can contact Sheila so she can be able to assist you. Okay, so that's it for now from my side. Unless you have questions, I'm now opening the table for your questions. Okay, so Sheila, she has given you her number. Please contact her directly on her mobile number or WhatsApp number, and also her email address. So who else has question? Review will be showing. Okay, however, and click exam. Okay, for NCLEX exam, I I couldn't remember what was our agreement, but I know that it will be shouldered as well, or it will be reimbursed to you. Okay, so I will confirm that, Miss Delvi, and I will come back to you. Since I'm not an NCLEX passer, would I be considered? I think I said yes in the presentation. Yeah, this is open for all, so long as they find you qualified or you are the right candidate for the job. Then you will receive, we will revert, and we will tell you if you will be getting an interview. Okay, so we will put your application forward. We will first need to do the screening of the CVs and forward it to the clients. If they approve it, then we will line you up for interview and arrange the arrange your training for NCLEX. So, no more questions. You can open your mic, unmute yourself. Else, I will be ending the discussion for tonight.
Hi, good evening, Miss Yan. Delvi here. How are you?
Hello, hi Delvi. Yes, I'm good. Thank you for asking. And you?
Yes. Because since I'm a non-passer NCLEX, yes, yet, and your presentation was very much
Thank you so
elaborative, and
much.
I really thank you so much. And my question is, since I'm a non-passer, as I have mentioned, within how long that I will be getting opportunity to be selected
Okay,
from
for
your
non
side?
For
Uh-huh.
non-passers, so long as the CV has been shortlisted, you will
Yeah.
be moved forward for employer's interview. Now you understand that for the training, it will take time like 6 months. For NCLEX
Yes.
passer, the time frame or the duration for the whole process, and I mean, from start to deployment, it would be 1 year, more or less. Okay. If you still have to do your NCLEX, like if you are reviewing and all, then you have to add 6 months. Then it would be around 1.5 year. So it would
Mm.
really depend on your on how fast you could pass your NCLEX. And we start the countdown from there, from passing the NCLEX. So we could assume 1 year because it will be premium processing. It will not be regular processing.
Okay, so meaning to say that the candidates will be entering US only as a passer, then the processing document only if it is NCLEX passer.
Yeah, because there is immigration process, and they cannot issue the visa unless you meet this requirement. And one of that, which is the most critical part, is passing NCLEX.
Okay,
Else we
but
will not
anyway,
be
uh,
eligible
yes.
for any visa. Like it, I mean, whether it's H1B or EV3, we cannot get that unless we pass NCLEX.
Mm, okay. Okay, so meaning to say that because in the steps that you have introduced on your slide, once the person will be selected and then getting interview, then there will be tying contract. So
Yes, yes,
meaning to, yeah.
because you will be getting privilege from the company, from the staffing agency, because they will have to give you free NCLEX training. That's very expensive because in UAE we used to offer that for 2,500 dirhams because it will
Mm,
cover 6 months period for the review, and we want to make sure that you will pass. But if you are qualified, they will not hesitate to give you
mm,
the interview and make you sign the offer. But of
mhm.
course, you have to commit that you will not withdraw your application because they
Yeah,
already had
sure.
invested on you.
Yeah, and Miss Yen, how about the processing of document for the NCLEX? Who will start the processing expenses? Candidate or from the employer or from
If it's
the staff
direct hire,
agency?
yeah,
Yeah.
if it's direct hire, to be honest with you, you will have to finance your application from start to finish. But you know the difference is that we have the employer. Okay, for if it's staffing, um it depends. I will double check, because as of right now, the confirmation that I got from them is to offer the NCLEX training for free. So for the processing, it could be that they will also do the reimbursement, but they will reimburse it one shot. Okay, I will double check, because for the visa, actually they will pay, as I mentioned, but for the rest of the paperworks, that I have to confirm. So whatever I
Mm.
mentioned here, which will be covered upfront by them, they will do it. Like your NCLEX, and then I have mentioned, I believe, this one, if approved visa, then they will pay for the visa fee and the airfare for this one. So they will cover it upfront.
Mhm. So this is the mention only for the candidate, is not with the family member, isn't it? So if
Yes.
ever the family member will be coming along in the during the deployment, the candidate has to shoulder the whole expenses for
I- I-
their
yeah, I believe
uh
so. Yes, because it's
okay.
not a family status. Same thing with UK
Okay.
application. If they want to bring
Okay.
the family, then they have to shoulder expenses. Okay, or the cost
Mm.
for the ticket and the visa and the
Mm.
processing. Yeah,
Yeah, Miss Yan, sorry, I'm putting you a lot of question
no
because I
problem
just
at
have
all.
this doubt. Maybe
Sure,
this question also is in the mind of the other candidate.
true,
My
true.
other question, because as you know, NCLEX exam is not an easy piece of cake. A lot of
True.
people are getting failed with it. So
Mm.
my other question is, suppose if the employer going to shoulder reimburse the whole payment, are they going to reimburse the first exam or even though all the failing exam?
I think,
Suppose I didn't
as
pass
far as I can
my first
remember,
attempt.
as far
Yes.
as I can remember, I think they will also shoulder. They will shoulder the first exam only, but I will come back to you. I
Mm.
haven't reviewed really the package they offer, because I just want, to discuss first, because I already reached, I think, more than 40 slides. But I will come back to you. Anyways, you are in the group. I will announce
Yes.
the offer, or probably I'll call you again for another orientation, or I will put it in YouTube, like the part
Mm.
two of the discussion. Okay, covering
Mm.
the what the benefits would be if you will choose to be hired by us. So I
Mhm.
haven't really included that here. So
Mm.
we will park that question for now, but I'll make sure to come back ASAP, because I don't want to mislead you as well. I want to make sure that what we promise, we will deliver. So
At
we
least
want to commit to our words.
yeah, financially also the candidate will get prepared, like me, since
True, true.
I know that the NCLEX is not an easy to pass, so I
But
have
don't
to
don't
keep in
don't
my
think about
mind.
that. That's the reason why you have to review, and we need to aim for take one.
Yeah, it's
So
true.
don't have that in your mind, these negative things, because that might happen. So we have to be positive. Okay, we don't want to
Mm.
keep repeating the test and keep spending money.
Yeah,
Okay, so
very
don't
stress.
focus on the negative. Yeah,
And
focus
about
on
the
positive
how
energy.
about the IELTS, Miss Yen? How about the
IELTS,
IELTS? Is it going to be shoulder also, or a candidate has to pay?
you have to pay initially for IELTS, and you do have option as well to attend the review. I would strongly suggest that you do. We process it as well, because without the
Mm.
review, and if it's going to be your first time,
Yeah.
you you have a slim chance of passing, because
Mm.
it's a test for four skills: reading, listening, speaking. You know that, yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
But that would be like on the latter part of your application. What we need to secure now is the NCLEX. So you really have to focus on that. And now, good thing is that
Yeah.
US is faster. The processing now is faster. And
Uh-huh.
especially if you are with the right agency, and SU Recruitment has the reputation of not delaying the application. Because
Mm.
if you are excited to be in the US, more so with us. Because remember, uh, this is our bread and butter. So we will not
Yeah.
delay any process, and we are a
Mm.
highly recommended agency. You can trust that you are in a good company, good hands.
One other thing, Miss
Yeah.
Yen, which is also quite important for me because I have a 4 years old daughter. Suppose I will be deployed there from your agency, and then how about the education for my child? Is it going to be paid by the government or I have to pay from my salary?
I'm not really sure about that, to be honest with you. So this is something that I'll have to write down, and this is considered my assignment because this is the first time I'm doing it. And to be honest with you, at the time that I was making or writing the slides, I was creating the slide. This is only the time also that I was reading all the information. But um, I think so, and I have a feeling it's going to be covered just like UK, though I
Yeah,
am not
yeah.
confirming it 100%, but
Mm-mm.
these countries, they have great privileges, especially for the immigrants, because you will be
Mm-mm.
landing in UK as immigrants, green card holders. So I'm
Mm-mm.
assuming that all the benefits like free education, free healthcare would be there as well. But like what I said, I will have to come back, and I want to make sure that I'm giving correct information and not misleading the audience, or especially my applicants or our candidates. So
Mm.
give me some time to come back to you. It wouldn't take long, I promise.
All right. I will send all my documents
Yeah,
right away to
you can
your
send all your
email.
questions as well.
Yes, yes. Thank you
Yeah,
so
all the
much.
things
Thank
I
you.
was not able to answer. Okay, my apologies, and let me prepare and come back to you with the right answer. Okay,
Thank you, ma'am. Thank
you're
you.
very much welcome. Thank you so much for attending. Who else has question? Because I've seen two hands. Who else?
Hi. Hi,
Ye-
good day.
Hi. How are you,
So
Anisha?
I'm all right. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you so
So my
much.
question is, seeing how the company or you guys are not looking after the NCLEX, do you think the pathway 5 for the New York NCLEX is okay to go through instead of the CGFNS? Because I guess we would have to do our application and everything for the NCLEX on our own.
Actually, we provide support for NCLEX. So I am assuming that you haven't started anything yet. But then our
Nothing
partner,
as yet.
yeah, our partner client is more than willing, and I mean they're welcoming applicants who have not started with the NCLEX, and in fact they will provide you free training for it. This is really good news for us, but they have to, of course, screen the CV well, and once you had submitted all your documents, they will come back to us, and they will tell us the nurses they have selected to avail of the free NCLEX training. But of course, you have to commit that you will be deployed or be processed by the agency, since you will be getting the free program for NCLEX, which usually will cost us, on too much money. So you don't have to worry. I have announced it, and because our client also understand that we really need to create a pool of NCLEX passers, and that is the reason why we have to start by giving away the free training for NCLEX. So don't worry about that, because we will assist you in every step of the way. Don't worry about that. And I will have more details about this, because I understand that you have lots of questions, and there will be follow-ups regarding this topic. So all of the questions will be answered. Just give me time, and I will update you. Anyways, I will add everyone who's in the group. We have WhatsApp group for those nurses interested to become USRN. We started gathering all of you. Okay, so we'll keep you informed about the updates. Okay, so who else has question? Arubuke is Arubuke.
Yes, I have
Yeah,
a
yes.
question.
You're
I have a
raising your
question.
hand. You have.
Yes, I
Yeah.
want to. Yes, I wanted to find out. Let's say, for example, you have yes, you're slated to take your exam. Let's say by the end of the year, but
Okay.
you still have a contract you need to complete within a specified number of years. Can you still be attached to the agency? Probably on completion of that
Which
contract,
contract
then you
are
can
which
now.
contract? Which contract are we talking about? Your existing contract with your current
Let's
company?
say, for example, for those who are in a different country,
Okay.
I'm using for an example, if you're in a different country, probably working, and you have a specified number of years to complete a contract, with the people you're working with, but you intend finally settling in the US to work as an RN nurse, is the agency also giving you an opportunity to work or to be with them and probably enroll in their NCLEX program, so that when you pass, the
Okay.
agency will still have to go through them to probably relocate to the US.
So you
So
you
that's my question.
what you're trying to say, let me understand your question. So what you are saying was, let's say for example, a nurse candidate had an existing contract with a different agency, and then you decided
Yeah.
to be processed by us. Is that what you are trying to say?
Yes.
So
Yes.
basically, you will be in touch with two staffing agencies. It will depend on the status of your, like if it's already visa application, we have to check if it's still possible for you to transfer to us. If you don't have commitment with your first agency, then you can move, or we can still be able to process your application depending on your agreement with them, and of
Okay.
course your the status of your application. Because if you are already being processed for the visa, then I don't think so. We can, I mean, it would still be possible for us to um, to transfer you to our agency. So it depends. We will check everything.
Okay, and my second question, the duration of this processing, does it take, like, because from the slides you have shown, the process of probably getting you ready for you to go live and work in the US, even after you must have passed your NCLEX, that's for a non-passer, and for an NCLEX passer, I don't know, can you just give us a duration of what
Yeah,
it
yeah.
looks like?
So we'll start the countdown once you start your NCLEX, okay? And I can give you a duration for more or less 1 year, because we
Okay.
don't know what will happen if you will pass, if you haven't taken the NCLEX yet. And I mean, how many times you will take the test and all, because the delay would come from that, like gathering your documents and passing your tests. So I will give the time frame starting from passing the NCLEX. So it should be at least 1 year. It could be less than that. It depends. Hello? 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 Miss Arubuke?
Yeah, yeah, I can
Were
hear
you
you
able
now.
to catch
Sorry.
that? Okay, that's fine. So what I said was that we'll start the countdown from the time you pass your NCLEX, and that should be more or less 1 year.
Okay, okay.
Okay,
Thank you very much.
you're very much welcome. Thank you for attending. Who else has question? Okay. So if you don't have questions anymore, I will be ending this orientation, and hopefully we can meet again. And for those of you who attended, yes, feel free to contact me via WhatsApp so I can add you to our WhatsApp group. And once you send us your CV, we'll put them, or we'll forward them to our clients, and just wait for an updates if we are getting an interview. Okay.
Yes, I have a
So
question.
yeah, please.
I joined the program late,
Mm-hmm.
so
Okay, yeah.
I
We
didn't
we
capture.
started we started 6 o'clock. So what you can do is that I will be uploading it in YouTube. You can watch it from there. And
Okay,
because all of them actually joined at 6 o'clock, and I've given a schedule. Apologies if
okay,
you're not able to make it on time, but you don't have to worry. There's a replay for it. And you can ask me questions, especially if we're connected in WhatsApp or if you are in WhatsApp group. Okay.
yeah, okay.
Already. Who else has questions before I end our meeting for tonight? Okay, I don't see any more hands. Have a
I
wonderful
have a
evening.
question.
Yes, please.
Please, I also wanted to ask, would we have a format for the US CV. I wouldn't know if you have a format.
Yes, I do have the
Like I
template.
know that the
I have the
yeah.
template and I will be more than willing to share it. Even one of our admin, or if you're in the group, you can just ask for the template of the CV rebranding or how to rebrand your CV. And I'll share that
Yes.
to you, and you can also watch the explanation or the tutorial for it in our YouTube. If you are my subscriber, just tell me and I will be sending you the link, okay, for or the tutorial on how to write your CV, and then send it to us, and we'll pass it to our employer. Okay. Hello.
Looking
Hello.
for it, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah,
Very
I
much
said
welcome.
I'll be waiting for this for it. Thank you.
Sure. Sure. Who else? Okay. So if there's no more question, I will be ending this meeting. And like what I said, just keep in touch with me via WhatsApp or an email or with Sheila as well. And follow me on YouTube, follow SGR on Facebook. And I will make you join the group so we can have the updates for your application. Thank you once again and have a wonderful evening. Bye.
Bye, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Welcome. Bye bye. Keep safe.